Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Faust, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first video of a really exciting series, and I'm going to be sharing with you my story, my experiences that have helped me transform, a lot about my music and my message. And I'm really excited to just express who I truly am as a person, as a musical creator, as a soul, to hopefully inspire someone. So I hope these videos in some way can be of service to you know, help anyone that's watching and listening. So I'll jump right in. Again, I'm Jason Faust, and music is the central point of my life and who I am as a person. And a little bit about me, I'm an American born artist and instrumentalist living in Spain. So, this series of videos, I'm going to be sharing a lot about the beautiful and wonderful adventures that I've had here in music and in life in the beautiful Spanish countryside. I live in the mountains of Spain, and it's absolutely just breathtaking and amazing out here. So, a little bit about me in a musical sense. Um, I love groove-based music. I perform groove-based music as a singer and frontman. I also play the piano and the trumpet. I've been playing the trumpet since I'm a little kid. And I love to perform music that's uplifting and inspiring and empowering with a strong message all about exploring the soul and just being who you truly authentically are. So, yeah, I'm really excited to share a lot of my story and my experiences with you all. So I'm just going to jump in. You know, a little bit about, where I came from to where I am now. I was, you know, for years I was just really an instrumentalist and a behind the scenes guy. I really started with the trumpet when I was a kid in school, and I grew a big passion for playing trumpet for many years to this day, as well as I picked up the piano in college and producing music and writing and arranging. And for the longest time, that was my focus, was writing music and performing it with other vocalists and arranging and producing and just being an instrumentalist. And I loved it and it was great. But what I realized over time was there was something that I was hiding, and there was a deeper part of me that, wasn't shining and wasn't being shown. And I chose to not show it for a number of reasons. But what began to happen was over time, I started to feel this kind of emptiness, like there was something missing in my expression through music. So much later on in my young adulthood, I came back to singing. I was a singer when I was a little boy in choir. I loved it, but I stopped. From the age of 10 to 27, I wasn't singing at all. And, you know, time went on and I just started to realize, wait a minute, there's something deeper here. And I was living in Los Angeles and I got back into just trying to sing again. And what happened after that was absolutely amazing and just I'm so grateful that it happened. So I was living in LA and I was just working and I was really just kind of feeling unfulfilled, like I hit a wall. I was doing a lot of music, but it wasn't filling up my cup. I wasn't feeling the joy that I knew I could feel. And all of a sudden I just had this realization. I want to move back to Spain. I did a study abroad in Spain for a years before, but you know, I was always an American living in the United States. And when I chose to take a jump and move to Spain, everything changed forever in the most positive way. And I left LA. I sold everything I owned. I left LA and I moved to Spain. And that's when my true artistry was born. That is when I began singing professionally. That is when my original music project as a solo artist was born. It's me, Jason Faust. And that's when I really started to feel the room to evolve myself and transform and find joy and happiness in my life. Before that, it really wasn't happening. I really was having a tough time. But the moment I moved to Spain, and this was in my case, everything got better. I was able to find community so easily. I was enjoying the beautiful culture and food and Mediterranean weather and just meeting so many awesome, genuine, authentic people here in Spain. And my original project started to take flight, and I was performing in venues all the time, building, public. And I went on my first tour. I released my first single and went on my first tour, and it was phenomenal. So it was really interesting because that all was happening and moving in a beautiful direction. And then all of a sudden, I hit another wall again, and I experienced some deep hardship, challenge, financially, um, with my career. But it all happened for a reason. It all happened as this divine, orderly test and movement into a brand new beginning. So I'm giving you a taste of, what has happened in the last few years. And in future videos, I'm going to dive deeper into the details of my story. But all I can share with you now is it was so meant to be for me to move to Spain in order to find joy in my life. And I'm sharing all of this because if you're somebody that has been craving or desiring to take that jump and go for your dreams, I promise you it's worth it to go for it. Even if it feels scary, even if it feels like a huge change, the moment that you make the choice to go for it, it creates a space and an opening in your life for so many wonderful things to come in. So that is had and has been the main theme of my life and my journey when I came to Spain. And another really cool part of this journey that's been unfolding more recently, as you can see here, I don't live in a city anymore. I was always someone that lived in cities. I was always someone that, was deeply involved in the music industry of big cities like Los Angeles, New Orleans, um, Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia. But, you know, after a while, it started to become really unfulfilling and a bit superficial. And I decided to take another job very recently. And I'm now living in the countryside mountains of Spain, in a beautiful town where it's quiet and peaceful, and where there's a lot of beautiful community, great food, farm animals, hiking trails, rivers, and musicians too. Yeah. So, it's been a really beautiful new beginning here in Spain. And what happened was I was, in living in Madrid for a short time. And again, I was experiencing some hardship. I was experiencing just a misalignment with my new identity. And I just decided to come out to a town. And the moment I arrived, I haven't left. And it has been absolutely one of the most beautiful, awesome experiences in my entire life. The peace, the tranquility, the nature, the beautiful community of people, and a community of musicians. Here in this small town in the middle of nowhere, I came across this awesome group of musicians that love to play rock and roll music and soul and blues and funk. We've been having a blast. So I'll share more about that later. But one of the biggest lessons I learned about taking the jump and moving to Spain, and now here in this brand new environment, is even if it feels like you don't know what's coming and you're in that unknown space of, I have no idea what's about to happen, trusting in the universe, trusting in yourself, and taking those steps forward is going to create that space for your life to transform in ways you would never imagine. So, again, I'm sharing this and I'm sharing these videos hopefully to help anyone that's listening that has that deep desire in their heart to go for their dreams, to go for what they've truly always wanted in their life and to create it step by step, slowly, truly, confidently, and find that joy because it exists within each and every one of us. So, again, I'm going to be sharing all different types of videos here on this channel about my adventures here in the countryside of Spain. I'm also going to be sharing all different types of original music and music with you all very soon. If you want to take a listen to my song, I have one song that I've released. It's called Make a Choice. It's linked here in the description. And I wrote this song all about making the choice to go for your dream, to take that jump, to move in the direction of empowerment and to move in the direction of creating the most wonderful life for yourself. So feel free to check it out. And thank you again to everyone that's listening to this first video of the series. And I can't wait to share more with you soon. So stay tuned. Thanks so much. And see you all soon. God bless.